But that really, I mean, that is really, it was an interesting conversation. So we do what's best for kids. The kids know that what our number one job is to keep them safe and to love them.
Yeah, we look at these kids and you know, you want every kid to just have that perfect life, and that unfortunately that's not the case always. You know, I've had 3 suicides in my years, you know, and that just was major traumatic for the whole school, as well as if people talk about guns, I'm just like, lock them up and don't let your kids have the knowledge, because I will tell you, 2 out of the 3 were probably top-notch kids, had everything going for them, but they had one bad night, and the parents weren't there, and they had that one bad night, and that's all it took. So it's just like, please lock them up. But
Are you saying lock up the kids or the
lock up the guns.
I think you left that out.
Yeah, yes, let me clarify, yeah. Lock them up.
On a side note of that,
Yeah.
though, I used to teach a gun safety lesson. It was part of second step, and it was a scenario of kids playing hide and seek at their friend's house, and the friend hid underneath her parents' bed for hide and seek, and there was a gun laying under the bed. And so then we, the whole scenario is asking, what would you do? And of course, always one kid, I'd take the gun to the adult. I'm like, no, you're not touching the gun. But I always start that scenario with, how many of you have guns in your house? And there was a large percentage, and like, how many of you know where they're at? And how many of them are locked? And then how many know where the bullets are? Every single time they knew where the key was for the lock, they knew where the bullets were, and even if those were locked away. It was fascinating to me. So
These are the kids that knew that.
kids that knew that.
It's just one bad night. Yes,
Yeah.
Mary.
How many homeless kids have you got in the district now?
Homeless?
Well, I know you have probably kids that are couch surfing, but
Yeah.
maybe aren't identified, but
I don't
You
know
know
the
how many-
exact, I do
You
know
know
that
that-
McDonald has the highest number of homeless kids in the district, which is interesting.
And that is number,
We have 13.
and so I would say that's.
According to the
So-
federal Department of
Yeah,
Ed.
what,
guys,
a lot of
Definition,
times they're
yeah.
living with another household and sharing the responsibilities and that. I mean, that's,
So if they,
truly living out, in a car or something. I think it's a lot less than that, but they're.
we have some great resources in Moscow for homeless,
Right.
but the federal definition is if they don't have housing due to a financial need and they're living with a family member, then that's considered homeless. So,
I know, and we talked about, we got free and reduced lunch, we're around 45%, I think, district-wide. Yeah, and some. And we've had people that wanted to pay all the debts of parents, and that's one thing we try to say no to, because then we have gobs of people that will just quit paying because they're going, it's kind of like the lottery.
or they don't apply.
Or they don't
for free
apply,
and
and
reduced
we
lunch
want
because
them
they
to
think
apply.
someone
Now,
will
we
pay for
have
it.
a fund, because the federal government, in their wisdom, won't pay from when the kid, they won't retro pay. So if they put in an application, it takes 5-6 days to qualify. I think they have up to 10, they won't pay for those lunch. But we have some donations that we take care of that. So we try to get them right off the bat to fill out the application, and then we have the funds to take care of them until they get approved. We get massive amounts of donations for school supplies, which is really helpful. The stuff the bus is a big one. Walmart occasionally will give us a pallet of supplies. I mean, we had a tattoo parlor this year that gave us a bunch of, they said, will you accept it from a tattoo? Yes, we will. Yeah.
Karate.
Just as long as you tell me I don't have to get a tattoo to do it.
So is second step being used uniformly across all classrooms? At the
In my
elementary?
school, it is,
Yeah.
but not so much across the district. Every school chooses which programs to use.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a mentor in the school district, and that was one of my questions with some of the kids that I've been with, is that pretty much everybody
Yeah, and
could use a good social skills.
Yeah.
I'm sold on the program because I did it when I
It
was a
is.
counselor.
It's
So
a
I'm like, you're doing
research-based
it.
social skills program.
Now, like
That's
with
been
our
good for a
special ed
number
kids,
of
the
years.
circles program,
Yeah.
that was a great program, I still like that.
And they get to use puppets.
In second step or circles? Second step?
Second.
Yeah, I love those
Yeah.
comments. I don't love them.
But, you know, we do try to look at the I agree, I think the district does a great job of looking for the kids, trying to meet their needs, trying to take care of them. We're seeing, you know, I would say in my experience, what I see probably more is less fights, but more going further, you know. We've had kids that bring knives that we've had to, you know, expel due to bringing knives. Why are you doing that? You know, well, I'm not sure. Just the fear of, you know, what they hear nationally is scaring these kids to, you know.
I don't
do
like that the
things.
mass shootings are becoming the norm. It's not
Yeah,
that big
yeah,
of a deal.
yeah. You know, I will tell you what's real scary is if you talk with a bunch of superintendents, it's not a question if it's going to happen at your school district, it's when it's going to happen at your school district and how bad is it going to be. So that's why I think you see all your districts just working their tails off trying to set up systems. That's why we put cameras into place. That's why we
Lock the door.
lock the doors now.
That one piece has changed a ton, just locking the doors.
Locking the doors, yeah.
It's really something. The
Does
sense
it
of
bring
security.
a safety?
Yes, very much
Safety
so.
thing, yeah. we
Very
felt-
much so.
feel there's a lot of safety factors, practicing lock, you know, I used to do fire drills all the time, now we do lockdown drills, lockout drills. I've worked with the police department constantly, they're great to work with, we have a good rapport with them, and we feel good about that. You know, we just hired our second SRO officer. Our SRO officer, school resource officer, and it's a police officer. Our purpose is not to just have someone walking down the hallway with a big gun on their hip or something. Our purpose is for the kids to get to know that officer, you know, more of connections with them, to feel that they're a person they can go to if they're having problems or they see something happening. So,
We just had an officer at our school last Friday when there was no school because it was
yeah.
parent-teacher conferences, and he was literally taking pictures of every nook and cranny in our school.
Yeah.
And I had 3 staff saying, you know, there's an officer
Yeah.
here. I can't hear any check.
Well, and Chief Fry, you know, he's now assigned every officer every duty to at least stop at one, you know, assign them a school to stop in at. And just to say, you know, I'm here, I'm walking in, and just so that they get comfortable in that school. Anytime they say they want to do a practice in our school, I'm like, please do. Because I figured the more they know this building, they're ready to go if we do.
One
I
of
will
the
be, what?
questions that we had when we were, you know, starting to look at this as a presentation was people wanting to know kind of how the school district screened for emotional problems. Was there a systematic way, or was it, you know, classroom referral to counselors, or just how does that?
I would say it's pretty classroom referral or any referral from any you know, person.
Parents or
Any
teachers.
signs of, you know, a parent can do.
Self-referral?
Parent, another teacher, someone who's in there. It's pretty much anyone who says, hey, you know, something's.
The 6th grade counselors at Moscow Middle School said that they do a needs assessment for every 6th grader coming in. And at the high school, the counselors meet at some point in time with every student, whether it's in a small group setting in a classroom or individually throughout the year, which is fascinating because that's a lot of kids to get to. At the elementary level, we have school counselors in every building that are there. McDonald has someone that's full-time, Lena, who has about 100 students less than McDonald, has one there 4 days a week. And then Russell and West Park have counselors there as well. And they take self-referrals, parent referrals, teacher referrals, but they also do a lot of work in the classroom so they see the dynamics and understand what's going on as well. So in large part, preventative and reactive is individual and group counseling as well as curriculum that's done by the school counselors.
The University of Idaho has a program, has a committee that kind of does screenings for university students, and they've talked with us, and Chief Fry has kind of worked with us to say, can we get it where we're communicating with them and use them as a resource? Also, so that they can maybe put some things together if they're seeing, okay, this student's parent is having some problems, maybe be able to get us some information. We have to watch the confidentiality, but it's really trying to find a system so that we can see the flow of a kid and make sure that when they're done with our system, if they're going to U of I, we can hand them over and say, and give them knowledge base so that they're aware of, hey, this is the best way to work with this person, and try to kind of do that wraparound with those people too. So, yes.
What would you like to see the community do or help with that would be most beneficial on these issues?
I know.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, you did it Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
One of the things that I didn't talk about is our mentor program in Moscow School District. It's an incredible, there's Lynn. Lynn, you can do this plug as well. It's an incredible program, and there's a variety of different ways that people can become involved, but we're always needing community member mentors. We also have within the high school, we have the Bear Buddy program where they pair high school students with younger students, and it's kind of truly a big brother, big sister. But those are short term. It's usually a year or 2 years while they're in high school. But the community members who become a mentor commit to 1 hour a week with a student. And what I personally have seen is when that mentor is with that student for a number of years, it is such an incredible connection. And it's a very structured program. It's during the school day for that 1 hour a week. You're not taking them on weekend trips or anything like that. But I mean, we've had students that have had a mentor for a decade through this program, and what a connection. We know what that does to kids, that someone is there for them, and it's someone that's just there for them. Not to get them to do their math facts or, their reading logs. It's for them, and it's amazing. It's an amazing. So,
And there's at least 3 of us here that are mentors.
perfect. Spread the word.
Yeah, I would say other things, we have the Moscow Education Foundation now that's kind of a program to help do enrichment programs. It's an outside group. Cindy Kuczynski is leading that, and they're working to provide some funds for the schools to do above and beyond, which is kind of nice to do. Our amount that we have for that, that period of time for, between when they get accepted and that budget's right now is pretty well to do. We're trying to look at ways to scholarship kids in sense of programs, like the after-school program, buying things for students that don't have. I was kind of, it was nice in Grangeville. I was part of the Lions Club, and all these guys, you know, they said, what do you need? I said, you know, at that time, principal and as a superintendent, it was small enough, you knew some of these kids that the family was too proud to ask ever, and they just never, you know, and they might need something for, like they want to play sports, but they don't have cleats or things like that. And the Lions Club said, great, here's $1,000, you know, you keep that, you use that, just let us know that you spent it for something, but, you know, I couldn't tell what the kid was and that. And it was kind of neat because it was just like, you know, hey, I found these pair of shoes, you want to use them, you know? They just happen to be your size, you know, and we did stuff like that, you know, to take care of them. We're trying to look at doing something similar to that, but we're really looking to say, okay, how are we going to judge so that we don't say no to the wrong kid and yes to the, you know, and that's hard to do that. You know, typically we have a pretty good idea, you know, if a kid doesn't have the money, or, you know, it's tough to say, you don't have money, but you're walking around with an iPhone. You know, maybe that's a difference. That's more of, you know, you're doing, you prioritize differently. But